Hey guys, welcome to the Little Big Podcast. This is episode 111. I just woke up from a nap.
Yeah, so if Daniel's a little slow, you'll know why.
Yeah, I was just reading through the episode guide that we have, and I read even more alligators packed, but that's later on. So anyway, let's go ahead and get started with some art.
Right, we have one piece of art to feature this week, and it's Sackboy by PSN Callstar. So he emailed this to us, and we wanted to give him a cool feature on the show, so hope you like it. Here's your art. Okay, and then we have our levels for this week. We actually have 3 that we picked, and then 2 others that are just almost like, well, one's an upgrade to a level we've already featured, and another one is a just this really complex computer thing.
Yeah, it's something that we don't really understand. So
right. First up is Ball Boy by, I'm not even going to try to pronounce it.
Banana Bauer.
Right, so you can see it above. And you pronounce that better sleepy than I did awake.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
So this level you control with your 6-axis controller this ball, and you steer it around this course, and if you go off the course, you die. Now there's a tutorial at the beginning of the level that kind of gives you a feel for how it works. Then the rest of the time you're driving, or I guess it wouldn't be driving, you're steering yourself around, collecting the little bubbles, and it's a lot of fun. It only has 3 plays.
Yeah, I was going to say we had played this level,
which is shocking because this is a brilliant level. It was actually referred to us through Twitter when we asked for some levels, and it was just awesome. It's a lot of fun. Be careful though, because the steering, it's good the way it is, but the steering is
it's very floaty.
Floaty, right? So you have to pull back way before you need to actually go back in order to stop yourself.
Yeah, but that makes it kind of fun.
Yeah, it's a lot more fun. If it was tight, it would be boring and harder, and it'd just be stupid.
And one of the coolest things about this level was this person has 13 days straight of create mode time.
Yeah, they have the pin for 7,500 minutes of create, which is very impressive, and as you can see, that definitely came to fruition in this level.
Fruition?
Yes.
That's too big of a word to say when I'm all tired.
Right, so our next level is 3D First Person Cam by Shadow Typhoon. Now this is what we were talking about last week. Remember when we said that this is the type of thing that's going to revolutionize LittleBigPlanet?
Yeah.
This is exactly what we were talking about, and you guys did it in a week. It's a room. It's using the 3D camera glitch that we showed off last week, and not only do you have just the view of the 3D space, you can walk around it, but you have rotation, which is brand new to this thing. Someone was able to discover rotation, let it out there to the community, other people discovered rotation.
You discovered rotation.
It's brilliant, it works. Right now, rotation only is possible when you're sitting still, but nothing is impossible with you guys and your incredible create tools. So I know that more complex versions of this are coming, and you've seen the 3D camera come last week, and then this room this week with rotation and all that. I mean, who knows what we'll see even next week or even a month from now.
Yeah, so, it's very incredible.
This is really taking off. It's incredible. So even though it's just a few rooms, just play it and it will completely change how you think about LittleBigPlanet. Like, whoa, a lot more is going to be able to be.
Yeah, and I saw an FPS with this. I mean, that's pretty crazy if you ask me. I mean, you could walk around, and then when you shot, you saw it just kind of fly out.
Yeah, and the cool thing about that FPS level was it was your gun was there and stuff, but it just worked. It's hard to describe, but it just worked.
Of course it worked, Austin.
Well, I mean, it works.
It's crazy because I mean, originally it was you would go through the space. It was very, very clicky.
Right.
I mean, it worked, but it was clicky.
The Raphael kind of flying through the.
Yeah, I want to see his dogfight.
We have yet to see any work from him in LittleBigPlanet 2, so keep your eyes peeled because he's probably been working on something quite epic.
He's probably made a second account and he's coming out with all this stuff just laughing hysterically.
Yeah. It's really me, but you don't know. Okay, and our final level is Coconutters by Rovian.
Yeah, this was a really, really cool level. I'm sure, but I wasn't awake for it. So Austin, go ahead.
Right. So you're on a tropical island. It's actually a co-op, or there's another versus level that you can play, and it's basically another version of Block Drop. Only it's coconuts, and they're not dropping. They're emitting on different platforms, and it's kind of a visual challenge because you kind of have to not focus at any point in the screen, and you just got to be ready for a coconut to appear anywhere. It uses either triangle, circle, X, or square, and it's just a quick, fast-paced game. It's even more exciting when you're playing against people. And since you were asleep, I couldn't play against anybody.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's great fun. Definitely go check it out. And remember, all of our lbp.me links have been down next to our lower third on that side of the screen. And then be sure to check out our level lineup level, which we actually had some really cool designs for. We're going to be changing those out over the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, special thanks to Arnold23 and Backscratch.
Yeah,
right?
they had a really awesome one. There are loads of other awesome ones that you guys designed for us. We'll be switching those up because it's so hard to pick just one out of all the ones that you guys did for us.
Right.
So.
I think we're going to alternate through. I was just thinking the first one that we actually got our hands on was the Arnold23 and Backscratch.
Right, yeah. So that's a really, really awesome thing. So thanks for doing that, guys. It'll make our level lineup level look that much more impressive.
And it really was pretty cool. I don't think they've seen that yet, have they?
No, they haven't.
Yeah,
so
you guys will
I actually have... Well, I'm not going to go into that here, but yeah. That'll be up hopefully tonight. Also, we have 2 extra levels that we decided to pick. LBP2 CPU by Demos, and I was actually given a tutorial by the creator just before I came up here.
Yeah, the funniest thing about it was, like, we jumped into the level and we're like, cool, you can type things, and then this guy's like, you don't just type things.
Right, it's a computer.
Do things.
A full-fledged computer,
it's
so,
crazy.
I don't really know fully how to explain it.
He's a computer engineer.
Right, but it's some kind of cool, like, coding stuff with binary and all that, and anyway, it multiplies, divides, adds code together.
8 bytes of RAM. Or
Right,
something
so
like that.
they're able to create, I don't know how they do this, but they're able to create stuff, a whole nother computer in LittleBigPlanet 2, which is pretty crazy.
I'm not really sure either.
So if you're that kind of person who understands that kind of thing, or you just want to see it, click on a lbp.me link that's going to be down in your screen down there. So that's one of our bonus levels for this week.
Yes.
Our second bonus level is a revisit to the Fist of Craft Earth by Javiro22, only this is the 3D demo.
Yeah.
So he took the camera tool
Craziness.
and interpreted it into the Fist of Craft Earth, and now you have a third person over the shoulder, very awesome, non-top-down fighting
rotate.
Yes, but only 90 degrees at a time.
That's
which
cool,
you really didn't need. So, surprisingly, you didn't really need to rotate too often. Incredible level. If you like if you like the top-down rendition of it, you will like the 3D demo of it.
Yes, very cool. And the only reason this wasn't a full feature was, one,
It's
it
still
already had
experimental.
1,000 plays and it
Right.
came out like an hour before we picked it, and it was still experimental. So maybe when it's a full version, we'll try to grab it as soon as possible and feature it.
Right. So, moving on to the news, we announced our crown contest this week, on Monday actually,
Woo!
and it's called Mind the Gap.
Woo!
The basic idea of the contest is to create a level or level series or cutscene movie, whatever you want to do, that kind of bridges the gap between Eve's Asylum and LittleBigPlanet 1. Now, you'll notice in Eve's Asylum that some LittleBigPlanet 1 curators are actually there being...
Yes.
Rehabilitated
Something
from
that.
a meanie infection. So what we want you guys to do is go out and make a level series, or a movie about how one or more of these LittleBigPlanet 1 story characters ended up in Eve's Asylum, and if you want, even how they got out.
Right, so let me give you a quick rundown of the rules. First, it has to be a level. You can't just send us an idea. It has to be a level. It can be a playable level or a movie. It can also be a level series. You can only use items that you or a team member create. We'll elaborate on that in a second. You can use items from story mode. So like the king item and all that stuff, you can use that. It has to have an original story. So your friend can't make it, and then you go and redo your friend's level with your graphics. That would work as a team. Just work as a team instead of doing that. You can use your personal PSN, or you can create a PSN. So if your level series is called King Gone Mad, then make a PSN called King Gone Mad. And then, let's see. You can work in teams up to 5. That doesn't mean that we're going to favor a team of 5. It just means that you can work in a team of 5.
If you want to work in a team of up to 5 people, the first place team, that team will get, each of them will be rewarded. Now, one thing that we do want to clear up, we don't have an amount of crowns set to give out, and if one person wins, then we have 4 extra crowns that we were going to give to that's not how it works. We're going to obtain prizes later according to how many people we pick as winners.
Yeah, so that should be lots of fun. And you can make your own music, or you can use the story music, which, if you want your own feel to it, you can do the Hansel and Gretel bot kind of thing and make everything personal. And these are all due by April 31st. No, just kidding. We actually pulled the fast one on you guys. They are all due by April 30th. And
right.
If you watched the original video, I did fold it right that time. I must have been practicing.
So, we kind of wanted to see how many of you were paying attention with the April 31st thing. So just have them published by April 30th, and you'll be good. Don't worry. Don't try to wait till the end, because that could be catastrophic. Just kidding.
Catastrophic.
We'll be lenient as long as it's not like May 3rd or something ridiculous like that.
Catastrophic goes meow.
Right, so if you haven't seen our longer, more explanatory video about our crown contest, if you're on YouTube, click here. So, yeah, that's our original video, and it exploded, and we have a lot of entries coming in, a lot of people teaming up, and can't wait to see what turns out.
I think we at least already have 20 teams going.
Probably.
And 20 teams of 5 people,
Don't think that you are completely lost in this contest, because you may not be.
And just for the record, we're not going to be judging it.
Right.
We didn't mention that, and we are also not going to be entering, so we're not going to be on your team, anybody.
Yeah,
not even just for fun.
We will not be participating in the contest, and we will not be judging the contest. We are only hosting the contest.
Yes.
And Media Molecule has been gracious enough to provide us with the prizes.
And Johnny Hopper to be judging it.
Yeah, so
the awesome Johnny Hopper
is going to be judging our contest. And yeah, that'll be really cool. So not only do you guys have to come up with an awesome killer story, but just remember it's going to be judged by the guy who wrote the story.
Yeah, that's a pretty big deal. So as I said in the other video, if it's graphically amazing and story terrible, then it's going to hurt you bad.
Right, so keep that in mind. Mind the gap.
Mind the gap.
Yeah, check out our crown contest video if you haven't seen that yet.
Yes.
So this week on PSN, our first LittleBigPlanet 2 DLC pack, or at least... Sure, the first LittleBigPlanet 2 DLC pack out is actually a release from the Collector's Edition. So in case you didn't pick up a Collector's Edition, you can get the Even More Animals pack right now on the PlayStation Store for $2.99 in US dollars. You can check your respective country's PlayStation Store for your regional pricing.
Yeah.
But it comes with 4 costumes, an alligator, a mandrill, a cobra, and a vulture.
Yes, and those are all very cool, I almost said cultures, but those are all very cool costumes, and make sure you go pick that up. Also,
we're filming on Thursday for once, just because we wanted to get the episode out to you guys earlier. And we actually have a big meeting with our school yearbook and stuff tomorrow. So
I don't.
He
does.
we're not going to be here to shoot tomorrow, so we wanted to shoot today, which means that we don't have our PlayStation blog update for today when you guys are watching it. So be sure to check the PlayStation blog this Friday, which is today, for blog.us.playstation.com, which is going to be the Friday update post.
Yes.
And that's going to be loaded with all sorts of news, including new DLC, besides the More Animals pack.
You may even be watching us on there.
Right. We can't say it right now, because if something were to happen... Anyway, so be sure to check out that post for all sorts of DLC announcement. If it's something incredibly big, you'll see another video for us explaining that, just because we love you guys.
I'll jump up here, pull out the camera, box it out with just my awesome face. I'll be like, hey guys, we forgot some DLC, here it is.
So, besides DLC, we have PAX East, which is going on right now. We tried our best to make it up there, but once again, we could not because of school, and the fact that we already skipped school to go to the New York City event and host there. So, we're not going to be at PAX East, but lots of other cool people are, including, let's see,
Luge,
Sid Schumann from PlayStation. Yeah, all sorts of really cool people. So, if you're in the Boston area, you'll probably not be able to get in because tickets are sold out. But hey, if you want to stand outside
there's always people that go out there and
just stand outside the doors and just wait for people to come out. Anyway.
Either that or like walk in with somebody on with them, find somebody famous, walk in with them.
That's going on right now, March 11th through the 13th. So, yeah.
Yeah, make sure you make it up there if you can.
Alright, and then our last news thing, which is kind of probably a weekly thing now. We are in the PlayStation Home Community Theater.
Yes.
We have a separate, cool Little Big podcast going on in the PlayStation Home Community Theater. We'll be releasing new episodes quite frequently. And it's just some cool, off-to-the-side stuff, some trophy tips and just interviews and all sorts of cool exclusive stuff that you won't see anywhere else. So be sure to head on over there. It's only in North America, and it's in Theater Auditorium 10.
Yeah, they'll be posted on
Thursdays.
Here. Well, I'm saying on here.
After 2 weeks of being out in the home theater, we'll be able to release it on our YouTube channel for those of you who aren't in North America, but you get a 2-week early preview if you are.
But you should watch on there in case we say anything super special, like, oh, we're giving away a crown code for the first person to meet us wherever. And then
so we're actually planning on doing several meetups in PlayStation Home. So be on the lookout for our Twitter feed at LittleBigPodcast. and we'll be shouting out, when we're gonna be on
Yeah, we
PlayStation
should do
Home. If
something.
you can come meet up with us, anything cool like that.
When we find out when our next video is landing, we will schedule a launch party. We actually kind of had an unofficial one. I started tweeting. I'm like, everybody get in there. Let's load the place out. And
We had a pretty packed auditorium. So
yeah, it was
pretty cool.
pretty crowded. So.
All right,
lots of
so
fun.
I think that's all we have for this week, guys. We'll see you next Friday. Don't forget about the crown contest. Go watch that video if you haven't already. Email us at littlebigpodcasters@gmail.com if you have any cool art, suggestions, or criticisms, or whatever you want to give us.
Twitter at LBPodcast.
Then you can subscribe to us on iTunes.
Yeah, I was just going to say Twitter is the best way to get anything to us that you need us to see. Although we do check our email, but
Because
it's a lot easier.
every time we
just-
get a tweet,
yeah.
my phone goes off like a text message.
And my iPod goes
Right.
off like a text
So,
message. So
That's the best way to get stuff to us and have us see it,
immediately, yes. And then subscribe on YouTube so you can see us here every week and get the little notification. And you can even check out email notifications now. So have it email notify you when we have a new video out. And you can also watch on the go with iTunes. So you can watch it on your iDevices and all that stuff on the go wherever you are. And I guess that's just about it.
All right, sounds good. We will see you next Friday. Goodbye.
Goodbye.